gentlemen, the time is 3:03. I will call the Paris Union High School Board, oh my goodness, let me start over. I will call the Paris Union High School District Board meeting to order at 3:03 PM. Item 3.1, teleconference by a board member. At least a portion of this board meeting is to be conducted pursuant to California Government Code Section 54953, in that the board member, Anthony T. Stafford Sr., will be participating by speakerphone from 690 Bloomfield Avenue, Montclair, New Jersey, 07042. Prior to roll call, I would like to make it clear for the record of this meeting, and it should be reflected in the minutes, that at least a portion of this board meeting is to be conducted pursuant to California Government Code Section 5493, that in that board member Anthony T. Stafford Sr. is out of the district. Board member Anthony Stafford is at 690 Bloomfield Avenue, Montclair, New Jersey, 07042. Trustee Stafford is participating by speakerphone in accordance with the Ralph M. Brown Act. The teleconference location has been identified in the notice and agenda for this meeting. I will now conduct a roll call, after which I will confirm certain matters for the record. Roll call. Trustee Nelson.
Here.
Trustee Vallejo.
Here.
Trustee Stafford.
Here.
Trustee Campos.
Here.
And myself, here. I would now like to request that the board member Stafford respond to the following questions. Oh, Board member Stafford, can you hear me well?
I can.
Were you able to hear our proceedings on this end up until now?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the agenda for this meeting?
Yes.
Have you posted the agenda at this location where you are?
Yes.
Is your location reasonably accessible to the public, such as that any member of the public could participate in this teleconference from your location if he or she wished to do so?
Yes.
I apologize. Is there any member of the public there with you who would like to participate in the public comment portion of this meeting, otherwise address any agenda item for this meeting?
No.
Okay. I would now like to ask that any member of the board speak up at this time if such board member has not been able to clearly hear board member Stafford. Hearing no comment for the record should reflect that all board members present have indicated that they were able to hear board member Stafford clearly. I would next request that any board member, including board member Stafford, speak up at this time if such board member has any reason to believe, based on the voice recognition or otherwise, that the person representing himself to be board member Stafford is not truly so. All right, hearing no comment, the record should reflect that no board member has expressed doubt that board member Stafford is the party participating by teleconference with board members present there. Item 4.1, invitation to address the Board of Trustees, closed session items only.
No cards this evening.
Thank you. Item 5.1, adjourn to closed session. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please vote. Item 5.1, adjourn to closed session at 3:07 PM. Item 6.1, the regular board meeting of Paris Union High School District is reconvening at 5:05 PM. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the invocation from Mr. Nelson, please.
Yes, please remain standing. Can we have a moment of silence for our English teacher at Paris High School who lost a battle with cancer, Shannon Romero, recently. So if we can have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Please be seated. Item 8.1, recess. The board president will recess the meeting to conduct a regular board meeting of the California Military Institute Charter School. We are recessing the meeting at 5:06 PM to conduct a regular board meeting of the California Military Institute. The regular board meeting of the Paris Union High School District is reconvening at 5:31 PM. Item 9.1, revision, adoption, ordering of agenda, June 12, 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We did make a couple revisions on the agenda here. We're going to be pulling items 14.5 and 14.6 off the agenda. We'll bring it back in August. We need to clean up some of the language that's in there.
David?
Campos.
Or excuse me, Mr. Nelson? And Mr. Campos? You did it first. You want to give it to Mr. Stafford? All right. So the second will be Mr. Stafford.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? See none, please vote. Oh, 1 second. One moment. Please vote. Ms. Vallejo, never mind. She popped up. Item 9.1 passes 5-0. Item 10.1, report out of closed session.
We do have two items out of closed session. In closed session, the board took action to appoint Kendi Lee McAmole as their interim assistant superintendent of educational services effective June 12, 2024 by the following vote, 5 yea and 0 noes. And then the second one, in closed session, the board took action to appoint Leslie Ventilith as the interim chief human resource officer with an effective date to be determined by the following vote, 5 yes, 0 no. The employment contract will be agendized at the next regular board meeting, effective.
We have to correct that. Person, that's all.
So
We need to correct that. We can't have chief.
The board took action to appoint Leslie Ventilith as interim human resources officer, effective date to be determined by the following vote, 5 to 0. An employment contract will be agendized for the next regular meeting. The effective date of this is June 24th.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
That concludes the report out of closed session.
Item 10.2, district update by the superintendent.
I do have a few things this evening. I'm going to start out with Kirk with a RAVE award.
So good evening. As we get prepared for the summer, it's an opportunity for us to recognize some of the amazing employees that we have here in the Paris Union High School District. And I'd like to begin by bringing up Edlyn Gutierrez, a PE teacher over at Pinacati Middle School. Please welcome her up. So let me share with you why she's amazing, and just a few of the things that make her amazing. That Ms. Gutierrez is an awesome advocate for students in the Pinacati community. Not only is she an outstanding PE teacher, she also serves as Club Live advisor and is a member of the very popular Pinacati Students and Staff Band. Ms. Gutierrez genuinely cares about students, and students respond positively by putting forth their best efforts and by reaching or exceeding their goals. So thank you very much for all your hard work, Edlyn. And give her another round of applause. So I'm going to ask Ms. Gutierrez to stay here because we have some other amazing people that we'd like to recognize. And that's we have three of our special education people that we'd like to recognize this evening. I'd like to bring up Eric Eck, Katie Check, and Esmeralda Chalfant. You guys all. And I'm just going to go off script on this one and explain why these individuals are so amazing. Also, Christine Coford was part of that group, and she's couldn't be with us this evening. But the reason that they're amazing is because you may not know this, but they put together the pantry at Paris High School. And what the pantry does is it provides for attire and hygiene-related products for our students, and our students with special needs actually run the pantry there. And it's no cost to our students, so if students need to come by and get some personal hygiene items, they can. And it's actually really utilized by our students, and it's been amazing. In fact, Mr. Santos will attest to the fact that many of our students take advantage of it, and that's just an amazing way of serving the students in the Paris High School community. And then Esmeralda Chalfant, who's our coordinator of special education, was so blown away by the pantry that Dr. Eck and Ms. Check put together and facilitate that during prom we found that there was a need for some students for prom dresses, and so Dr. Chalfant went out and bought prom dresses for our students so they could take advantage of them at the pantry. So just amazing work that they do to meet the needs of our kids. So thank you guys very, very much. And if we can have the board come down with them.
One more shot.
We have a couple of other awards that Mr. Garcia is going to be leading. I'm just standing down below to hand them their award. Garcia, it's all yours.
Where'd they go? Oh, there they are. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we want to thank Mr. James. James, please come forward. We want to thank you for all your hard work and service. James is an overachiever, so if you ask him to do something, he wants to top it off and add extras, so you know. Thank you for your service. Please stay there. And then the next. And then the next person we've been trying to get this award to for a while is Miss Sarah Rico. And that's the look we were going for. Thank you, Sarah, for everything, for being a blessing in our lives and helping everyone. Every time we pick up the phone and call you, thank you for everything. Let's go, board.
So again, congratulations to both James and Sarah, well deserved. Next is another award we're giving out, and this one's Lindsay Chavez, the principal at Heritage High School, is going to be giving an award out this evening. I think Erica Tejeda and Juan Zandos are coming with her.
They're all on fresh. Yeah, on fresh.
And Julie Blyde.
Move forward like
I didn't think you guys let Julie in the club yet. And Mr.
I guess it's fine if you're okay with it. Two of them. They have it. Yeah. All right. Since it's the final board meeting of the 23-24 school year, we wanted to take a moment to show our gratitude to Grant and to Kirk. So Grant and Kirk, on behalf of your favorite people in the whole world, your principals, I am deeply honored to stand before you today as we say goodbye to our beloved Superintendent Grant and our awesome Assistant Superintendent Kirk. First and foremost, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude for the opportunities you've given us. Your belief in us as leaders and as principals surpassed what we saw in ourselves. Your trust in our abilities has been truly transformative, and your unwavering faith has allowed us to grow into the leaders we are today. And for that, we are profoundly grateful. Under your exceptional guidance, we have been encouraged to be ourselves, to take risks, and to innovate. You've always created an environment where daring to try was not just accepted, but celebrated. And more importantly, you were always there to offer us your support in case we stumbled, and we stumbled quite a bit. This balance of freedom and support is a testament to your extraordinary leadership. And as you both embark on the next chapter of your life, know that you will be deeply missed. Your legacy of dedication, kindness, and visionary leadership will continue to inspire us for years to come, and we promise not to let you down. Thank you for everything you've done to ensure student success, and we wish you all the best in what lies ahead for each of you. And we have a special surprise. Special message. Two special messages.
Hi, Grant Ronce, and I am here today because you have some very special friends who have really appreciated your work in education over the past 30 years, and they tell me that you're going to be in retirement here pretty soon, but they wanted me to thank you for your extraordinary work as a math teacher, a baseball coach, an athletic director, the principal of Paris High School, and now the superintendent. It's been there for so long and done such a great job. You touched so many people, and they are so grateful for the work that you have done that they wanted to salute you. So here we are. They tell me that you've been a great Dodger fan for a very long time, and when I was playing, I was one of your favorite players, so I want to thank you so much for your support. But you've got some wonderful people that want to pay tribute to you. I just want you to have a great time the rest of the way. Enjoy your retirement. Be well and be safe. Hi, Grant Ronce, and I am here to.
Kirk, we have to get someone a little bit different.
What's up, Kirk? Tony Gwynn Jr. here, broadcaster for the San Diego Padres. And I'm not sure if you are retiring or moving on, but I can tell you that the principals that you've been able to serve are going to miss you dearly. It sounds like you are a wonderful superintendent. As a father of four, 2 in high school, 1 in middle school, 1 in elementary school, I have learned how important someone like yourself is, and kind of be able to calm the chaos that we have in our schools from time to time. And it sounds like your calm handling of situations, the ability to listen to your principals and then kind of give them direction, sounds like it's one of a kind. It also sounds like you're a big Padre fan, big Tony Gwynn fan, and as his son, I certainly, and as his family, we certainly don't take that for granted and are very appreciative of it. And so whether you are retiring and going off into the sunset or moving on to something a little bit better, you're going to be missed, you're loved, and just continue, if you're not retired, just continue to be who you are, because it sounds like you've been able to guide the Paris Union High School District in a way that has been moving, fulfilling, and impactful. So, Kirk, cheers to you, man. Keep up the good work. Maybe get to see you at a Padre game. Go Pods. What's up, Kirk? Tony Gwynn Jr. here.
Thank you.
Broadcaster for...
best to fix it.
That was really cool. You got a professional team, the Dodgers, and you got a minor league team, the Padres. How many World Series do Padres win? I can always pull that one out. Okay, I have a couple other things. I want to thank the principals. That was awesome. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Last week, we had 8 graduation/promotion ceremonies in 4 days. It was busy, but all the schools did such a wonderful job with them. They were all well put together, well run, and it was great to be able to honor those students. It was really, really good week. I want to thank the board members that could make it to them. I know it's tough to get to all of them, but appreciate your support there doing that. I want to thank the PUMA board, which is our Parish Union Management Association. They put on a really nice retirement ceremony for me a week or so ago. I really appreciate that. It was really, really nice. You might let my kids talk. I want to thank Kirk from emceeing that night. He did a great job with that. I really appreciate that. And kind of, I want to thank, they're not here, but the students, the families, and the communities we serve, our certificated and classified staff for all the support over 31 years in this district. And I really look forward to great things still continuing to hire in the Paris Union High School District, so thank you. And that would conclude my report for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Item 10.3, PSEA President Jason Miller.
Thank you. Go Padres. First thing, I'd like to thank Mr. Nelson for that moment of silence for Shannon Romero. I will pass that on to our Vice President. She knew her well. I also like to, on a personal note, thank the Cabinet and the school board on a personal note and Julie Blythe as well, for an awesome graduation at Paloma Valley High School. I got to walk up with her. I don't usually get confused about stuff, but there was 100 billion hands out there, and I'm just glad that I didn't eat it down the ramp. And so she had a great graduation, and from what I understand, it was the fastest graduation. I'm not sure if that's accurate. Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And congratulations to all the award winners tonight. A lot of change in the air at the Paris Union High School District. We want to thank all the employees at PUHSD for another year under their belt serving students. We wanted to thank Grant Bennett for his 31 years of service to students and staff at PUHSD, and we wish him well in his next phase of life. It's been a journey. I also want to express a personal appreciation, a professional appreciation, and all the best for Kirk Skorpanich as he departs from PUHSD. Kirk has done a lot of great work with PSEA, and you will be missed. The choice for Joe Williams as interim superintendent was a logical one. He is respected by a lot of people. I even had members contact me right away when it was announced, saying that they hoped he would be permanent. I took a look at the superintendent survey results, and technology got pretty glowing scores from some major stakeholder groups: employees, parents, students, and administrators. Joe Williams and other good leaders spend time building reputations. A reputation is as good as gold. A reputation for doing solid work, running a smooth operation, and making effective decisions for students is the right direction. It is a lesson in leadership for sure. If a leader is trying to get feathers in their cap on what they have done to show they are an effective leader, well, there really is nothing wrong with that. But build a reputation for yourself, especially amongst those that you lead. Then the feathers will float into your lap all on their own, and a reputation is long-lasting. I've said this before, and it's worth saying again. If leaders had to be elected every few years by people they actually know and lead directly, it will change how they approach leadership. It certainly has for me. If you're not elected by those that you know and oversee, it might not be a bad idea for you to lead as if you were. Thank you for this time to speak.
Item 10.4, CSEA President Helen Steinmack.
Ms. Steinmack couldn't make it this evening, but she, Esmeralda is going to be pinch hitting for her.
All right, thank you.
Go Angels. Sorry.
I get that at home all the time.
Good evening, President Garcia, members of the board, Superintendent Mr. Bennett, and Cabinet. My name is Esmeralda Chaff. I'm the Coordinator of Special Education. Unfortunately, Ms. Helen Steinmack couldn't attend today's board meeting due to an illness. She asked me to convey her report, and I assured her that I would represent her in her absence. So this is her report. There is a presentation that's going to go along with it, and I'll pause at certain slides that she has specific notes for. Oh, okay. Okay, I will get to that. Thank you. We have started negotiations with the district on articles on our initial proposal. One important area of concern is our health and welfare cap. Even with our raise this past year and due to rising costs, our members are struggling to make ends meet. With Kaiser and Anthem's rates increasing, we find it imperative to address the cap with the district and get in line with caps that CMI, confidential employees, and management have. Some of our members and their families had to opt to lower health plans because insurance rates have increased by more than $200 per month. We hope to come to a consensus as we continue to negotiate with the district later this month. On behalf of our classified employees, we sincerely wish Grant a happy and healthy retirement. We look forward to a continued principled relationship with the interim superintendent, Joe Williams. We also want to congratulate Kirk and wish him well in his future endeavors. We will miss the mutual connections nurtured with him at the helm in HR over the past years. Finally, I'd like to share with you a presentation of the ACE, Appreciating Classified Employees program that happened last month. Okay, so here we go. So a little bit of the table of content. It gives a little description of what the ACE program is. ACE is a job shadow experience with one-on-one interactions with classified and administrative staff. This happened the third week of May. Okay. In 1984, resolution of conference with legislation at the state and Senate to adopt the CSEW to be recognized statewide. One more click, and these are all the schools and departments that participated. Here are the district participants. There were about 20 district and classified employees that participated. Helen wants to thank Kirk for putting the assignments together. I know it must have been a daunting task, but he did. Here we go. Music is supposed to be playing. Oh, no, yeah. Working 9 to 5, I don't know. There's supposed to be music going along with that. No, okay. Heritage, there I am, you can see me. A huge shout out to many thanks to Paris Union High School District for allowing us the opportunity to collaborate and experience being shadowed. We are grateful for spending some time with you where we work and truly appreciate you for taking the extra steps to make this a very important event happen. So thank you. And this is a big celebration at the end at the bomb shelter. So thank you on behalf of Helen Steinmack.
Item 10.5, comments by the Board of Trustees. Trustee Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. President. First off, I would like to echo what Mr. Miller said about first of all, about his daughter graduating, getting a chance to walk her across the stage right there. I had the same opportunity over at Liberty. My daughter got a chance to sign my speech to the graduates, and then I got to get a chance to give her diploma. It was really awesome. And just being allowed to do that type of thing is what we live for type of thing to get to. I would also like to say thank you for the well wishes from PSEA and CSEA for both Grant and Kirk. I would also like for myself to say, Grant, 31 years. You've been our superintendent for what, 8? We appointed you 8 years ago. Like I said at your farewell thing, it was probably one of the best decisions we've made as a board, and we will miss you quite a bit. You do so much for this district, and we will definitely miss everything you do for us. And for Kirk, you're not retiring like Tony Gwynn Jr. said, but what? No senior? Oh no, I'm teasing. It's a little too early. Tony Senior, Gwynn Senior died a few years ago, but we won't hold the fact that you're a Padres fan against you. But I really hope that you have a good next stage of your life, going on to another school district and working for essentially a statewide charter school. So it's going to be a daunting task for you, but I wish you all the best there. And thank you for everything you've done for us. And we've known for years that HR has been in good hands with you at the helm there for the last few years that we've had you there. And I really appreciate everything you've done. And all the graduations that I got a chance to go to were awesome. I appreciate you guys, everything you do, all the people involved in everything. I still don't know how Paloma Valley got 600 plus kids across the stage that quickly. It was crazy fast. And I was like, wait a second. What? Like 7:04, I think we were stepping off the stage. It was just nuts. But I appreciate all the hard work that went into it from all the principals there, all your staff, everybody involved. Please give them a big thank you from us. And I really enjoyed going to all the graduations. And that's kind of the reason why we're here is we do all this stuff to make sure we see those kids walk across the stage, career ready or going into college or into the military. That's been our goals for the last couple of years, and just seeing those kids taking that step and jumping into the next part of their lives is really exciting. And you just see like Trustee Garcia said, it actually clicks into their. You're like, oh my gosh, this is a big deal. And some of those kids just go across and they have like scowls on their face. You're like, you gotta smile. This is a big deal. And this is all for you guys. We want you guys to enjoy it. But everybody takes it as their own pace. But I really enjoy seeing everybody coming across and getting a chance to shake hands with all of them and everything. So I appreciate everything you guys do on that. And I hope everybody has a great summer and like I said, comes back recharged, refreshed, and ready to go in August. So thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Vallejo.
I actually first want to congratulate Bennett and Kirk for Grant. When I first met you, I was running, and I really appreciate how, I don't look like the rest of the board. I'm very young, but I do appreciate you being very respectful and always rooting for me and always, showing me the ropes, because being a board member, there's a lot of things you have to learn. And Grant was very patient with me. We would meet all the time, and then I would ask him a lot of questions, and I really appreciate you for being a really great superintendent. So I do really appreciate you so much. Kirk, thank you so much for all that you do. Your job is not easy. I don't think I ever want to work in your position. So I really appreciate all that you do as well. Thank you so much for your service. I do want to just make a little statement for right now, and I think it's very important for me to address something that has happened in the past, and I believe like we as a board, we do want to extend our sincere apology for Dr. Cassandra McNair, only because for not doing everything possible to help her find an alternative position within our district. And Dr. McNair is a true example of what it means to serve for the children, for the staff and for our educational community. And I know Dr. McNair is not here, but Dr. McNair, you are a true inspiration to myself and many others, and we let you down pretty bad. And we also let Mr. Bruff down very bad as well. And so many other staff revolving our mental health programs as well. And these are truly a huge loss for us as a district. And we as a board really need to do better if we want to have the best employees stay with us. And I just believe that we as a board in general, we have to do way better in leading and making sure that we are acting in the best interests of those who elected us, which is all of you guys, all of you. Another thing that I do want to mention that I have been requesting, and it always gets ignored, is it has been brought up to my attention for so long that transparency is something that all of you guys have brought up, and we all definitely agree. But I am in full support of video recording these meetings, to be specific. The people have been asking for months about this, for probably years too. And no one seems to be wanting to act, no one. And I believe I can safely speak on behalf of the board that we believe in transparency. We want to show transparency, and it's definitely something that we do want to promote. And I wish to propose a timeline as to when we can begin the necessary steps to begin implementing the video portion of these recordings for all these meetings. And I believe that the frequent feedback regarding this issue is a message to the people from us, and they demand transparency. So as a public organization that is to put in place by the public that we serve, it only seems just as if we act on this with the same importance as we do as any other agenda item. And I myself am stating to everyone here that I want to see more action in making this a possibility. So many other boards and organizations value this idea and practice of video recording for transparency's sake. So I believe it is time that we adapt and do the same. And here I address to all my fellow board members, your vote should be reflective on how you value the people's opinion, not your own. So silence from the board cannot continue. We must have legitimate answers for them, and I trust that this board can find the confidence somewhere in openly showing the people how we as a board vote and know who represents them via video imaging. So all this really is something that we need to have. I don't really know any other district that doesn't have it. Maybe we're one of the few. Audio does not help at all. We need to see the video, and it's for transparency. It's to call us out if something happens. I want the public to be in full transparent of what we're voting on and who we are, because they don't know who we are. They're left in the dark, and they need to know who we are as board members. And I will keep on talking about this every month until you all decide to do something about this, but I think it's very necessary, and I believe that you guys would all make the right decision to bring it up next month. Let's just have the video recording, because that's what the people want. And we're here to serve the people, so I hope nobody forgets about that. Thank you.
Trustee Stafford.
Yes, I'd like to just start by thanking and wishing well Mr. Skorpanich. He did a great job for us. Very nice man, and I know he'll really enjoy life and to its fullest. And it's a pleasure working with him. I'd like to thank Mr. Bennett for his support and allowing me to grow within the district. And there was a couple of things that I'll just share with you. We all know Grant's an early riser. I mean, he gets up at the crack of dawn. So we worked together at Heritage High School. And can you hear me? Okay. I would try, he was the principal, and I was his plant supervisor. And I would try to beat him to work. You know, I said, okay, I'm going to beat Grant to work today, and I'm going to be there. And I just never could get there before he did. If I came earlier, he came earlier. So he would get there and be sitting in his office working, and I say, "Wow, I just it's my timing's not right or something." But and the other thing was Grant would always, you go through the school year, you run into all sorts of difficulties. Whether I was a facilities person, so whether it be sewage backups or broken something, or student emergency, so something like that. Uh, I would go to Grant because I always wanted him to know what was going on and didn't want him to, you know, be blindsided by something. And Grant could see me coming, and he has that trait sort of like I did. He would turn his head to the side and kind of like, "What is it, Tony?" But he would always listen, and most of the time, if he didn't give me the answer, it at least allowed me to make my own decision and get it correctly. And he always gave me the support I needed. So he was integral in just we worked together and did a lot of sweating over there at the school. Then of course he moved on, and so did I. But uh, I've known Grant for probably, I don't know, Grant, I don't know, 15, 18 years. So I really, as I said before, he is one of those people that was instrumental in my life, one of the leaders in my life that helped me along. So I just want to say best of luck to you, Grant, and I know I'll be seeing you. And, when you say, "Hey, give me a call," I don't say that, I don't take that lightly. I know one day I might be calling you, Grant, and say, "Hey, Grant, what do you think about this or think about that?" and need your opinion. Um, but I just want to thank you for everything and wish you well. And that's it.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Stafford. Trustee Campos.
Well, I guess I'll start off with kind of what everybody's mentioned. Grant, thank you for your 31 years in the school district. I remember when the election was almost over and I was about to, we had coffee and it was a good meeting. I was glad that you reached out and were able to talk about kind of some things and what you had envisioned and kind of what I did. And so I thought it was a great meeting, and thank you for all that you've done. Obviously for hearing all the stories for all the students and the staff here at Paris Union. So thank you for that. Kirk, thank you also. I know it's been a short time with my tenure with you, but thank you for all you've done. You've been very helpful to me. I know in questions that I've had, you've answered everything in a professional way and given me the information that I needed. I wish you well wherever you go. Obviously, it's not going to be your last stop there either. I'm sure that there's someday we're going to be hearing, hey, Superintendent Kirk Skorpanich. So I want to wish you well with all of that. And I'd like to thank Jason I know it's been a tough year. It's been a difficult year. I think it could have been ended worse. It ended up better than I thought. I was hoping that there was going to be other changes, but obviously we're still in a fiscal situation that hasn't been kind of taken care of. So we're looking into that, and hopefully, we'll get more information down the road. Esmeralda, thank you for filling in. You did a great job. For Helen, and also congratulations on the award. That's awesome. Great video too. And then the last thing is kind of on a personal, actually all the rave winners too. Congratulations to all of them for all that they did. Oh, and I almost forgot the principals. I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, they're like all over the place. Think here, think there when I write stuff down. But congratulations to all the administrators. You guys did a great job closing the year out. It was cool to, like I said, to Dr. M, it was cool to see the beginning, opening of a school year and the close of a school year. So it was great to see all the graduates graduate and hearing all the speeches from the class of the kids, the students that spoke. For me, it was interesting, and I'll kind of mimic what Mr. Garcia said. In high school, I didn't walk. I made bad decisions. I made poor decisions, and so I didn't get a walk. So I remember, so every time I get up there and I see these kids crossing, to me, it's like it's really cool. Like I've got a big smile because it's something I didn't get to do. And I graduated in college, but high school, there's nothing like high school. You know what I mean? College was cool, but I didn't even go to my master's one. But it's just one of those things that when you see it, and then the way you guys present it, you make it. It's a cool event. It really is. The kids got all their hats and all their bling and all their sashes and cords, and they're smiling. Some of them might not have anything, but they just have a big smile. So thank you for all that. Thank your staff for us, because it was great to see that. And then on a final note, for me personally, I apologize for the shorts. But I know Elizabeth mentions transparency. Today was one of those days that I don't want to repeat. They started early. I was going to take the car in, go get some work done. Found out I needed some major work done, got kind of stuck. From there, I had to switch that car out, take another car in. It's my wife's birthday, and so by the time we got back, the kids had celebrated, they were doing some stuff. We were going to get some stuff together, go have lunch. By the time all that was said and done, and I had to go pick up the car, and anyways, by the time I got there, I was like, either I'm going to be late or I'm just going to show up in shorts. And so I didn't want to be late to delay anything, so I made sure that I just got here on time to not delay the meeting, but I do apologize. For those of you who have pictures of that, you probably will never get, no one else will have pictures of me in shorts, so. But anyways, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for your attendance, the past year, and that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Campos. I would like to thank the staff who got to work on the school plans for student achievement. That was a big deal, and I really, really, really appreciate you all. I genuinely appreciate every person that works for Paris Union High School District. Earlier I mentioned the fact that I got to see the graduates walk across the stage and how impactful that was. And it's ironic because I didn't know that about you. You didn't get a walk either. And it has so much more meaning to me than other people that I know. So seeing the smiles and knowing that they've accomplished something big is huge for me. Anyway, I won't even get into my story. But Mr. Kirk, I want to thank you for all the hard work you put in, the extra hours, staying late, coming in early. And I've heard stories of you trying to beat Mr. Bennett as well on time. I don't know if that's accurate, but that we know. But I truly thank you for everything. I know we've been hard on some of the cabinet members on certain things, and we appreciate you always being professional. I really appreciate you. Mr. Bennett, from the bottom of my heart, congratulations. I am so jealous and envious of you that you get to retire. I wish I could be joining you on everything you do because you're a phenomenal person. I've never once seen you out of character, and I respect that about you. One of the biggest things that I respect about Mr. Bennett is when he meets you, he doesn't forget you. He knows you by name. He knows your kids' kids, and your future kids. So, but he's an amazing person all the way around, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm honored to say congratulations, sir. No, thank you for your service. What am I missing? The Rave Awards. Congratulations to you all. That just shows that everything we say is truthful. You guys work hard, and everyone should be respected. I wish we could do this like every single day for every single person so they know how much we genuinely care. You guys are just phenomenal. I could never stop bragging about you guys. What else am I missing? Talked about the retirement. Sorry, I'm speaking out loud. I think one of the most important things we're facing is summer right now. Are we all ready for summer? Talk about awkward silence. I don't even get a response. Well, I hope you are. And if you're not, make plans, take care of you. Mental health is serious. It's a real deal. And we ask that you take care of yourself, please. Anyhow, we're going to move on. Item 11.1, invitation to address the Board of Trustees on non-agendized items.
We do have a few cards this evening, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. And normally before I read the rules that we have to set forth, I ask you guys always remain respectful. If you're in the audience and you're speaking, I ask that the people that are speaking speak only to the board. Please don't address anything to the cabinet. We don't want to make this hostile. I'll be respectful if you're respectful. And I want to give you all fair warning. If we say there's a few seconds, please be respectful of time because I don't want to cut the mic and I definitely don't want to kick you out because I think it's important that we hear everyone and what you have to say. That's critical. So on that note, individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agendized item. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. With the board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. In addition, the president may take a toll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. Mr. Bennett, the first name, please.
The first speaker is Anthony Noriega.
Trustee Vallejo, if I had it in my power, I would appoint you as the president of this board. You have a lot of sense, and you're decisive, and you have compassion. Thank you very much for what you do. The following is based on information that I received from the Riverside County Voter Registrar's Office last night, reflecting the fact that Kamowski, the recall for Kamowski is he's losing the count by 211 votes, and that there are only about 112 votes left to count. Do the math. I put out a press release this morning. The headline is, Kamowski defeated as citizens vote his removal in historic election. The potential successful recall of Joseph Kamowski from Temecula Valley Unified School District Board marks a significant victory for the community leaders and organizations committed to fostering an inclusive educational environment. Spearheaded by Jeff Pack, co-founder of One Temecula, and supported by Edgar Diaz, president of Temecula Valley Education Associations and grassroots organizations, this recall effort highlights the power of community mobilization. Anthony Noriega, that's me, director of 5 of the League of United Latin American Citizens, and Miles Ross, president of NAACP Southwest Riverside County Branch, praised the dedication and leadership of Jeff Pack and his supporters. This recall is a testament of the Temecula community's determination to ensure that the students' voice is heard and respected, said Noriega. The Latino community has shown an increase in engagement exemplified by a recent initiative to establish a LULAC de Temecula council to ensure continuous representation in local affairs. The successful recall of Joseph Kamowski sends a clear message that the divisionist and discriminatory policies have no place in our schools, stated Ross. However, challenges remain. For the past few months, LULAC, NAACP, and CART have opposed recent decisions by Paris High School Unified Board, including the dismantling of the equity program and releasing Director Cassandra McNair and closing the wellness program. We call for all of those people to be returned back. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Ashley W.
Good evening. I admit my comment at the last special meeting was rough. It's not easy to hear about Trustee Campos' $200 donation to the hyper-religious conservative extremist IE Family PAC. What I didn't mention was that on social media, Stephen has also supported the harmful idea that trans people are monsters, and using his own words, posted outlandish statements like the principle of the BLM movement is to destroy the nuclear family. It's wild to me how someone could have such bigoted and harmful views while smiling, shaking hands, and playing nice with everyone around you. It's mind-boggling even further to have an understanding that President Garcia Jr. is in lockstep with Area 1 trustees' vision for our district. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'd rather be wrong. Trustee Nelson and Trustee Stafford Sr. both voted to eliminate all positions under the CARES team, as well as the DEI department. How can we know, as caring parents, where you stand on the question of conservative extremism within our school boards? What will you say and do to reassure us that hyper-partisan intolerance is unacceptable? Will you reinstate all the CARES positions and not just 5? Will you stay silent for DEI? We deserve to know in order to make the best choice in the upcoming elections. Ms. Vallejo, so far, you have been the only member of the board that has made significant efforts to stand up for real parents and students in this district. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your continued fight for ethics, equity, and justice. With that, happy Pride Month, happy Juneteenth, and have a great summer.
The next speaker is Marla Mateen.
Hello, Board of Trustees. First, I'd like to say, Member Vallejo, you exude leadership and just incredible demonstration of what a true leader really is for our students and parents and teachers. My name is Marla Mateen, and I am here on behalf of the African American Parent Advisory Council. As a community member and collaborator of CART, I take it as a part of my duty to speak on behalf of students, staff, and community members who are negatively and disproportionately impacted from the decisions that our elected and appointed members make. The climate of DEI throughout this region is disheartening, as it feels as though many who hold decision-making positions are set on taking us back as a collective to a time and space that is not conducive to the elevation and growth of Black and brown communities. You realize there is a problem, yet viable solutions that are presented are dismissed or worse, ignored. There have been requests for this to be on the agenda, yet the request of community has gone unheard. A couple of points that I'd like to raise from the letter that has been circulated are Dr. Cassandra McNair has worked tirelessly to ensure a safe and supportive environment at PUHSD, as well as the reestablishment of the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion position. You ventured to create a solution to the California Department of Education finding of significant disproportionality with Hispanic students and suspensions in PUHSD by hiring a Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, as well as creating wellness centers and cares team. These three functions were explicitly designed to address significant disproportionality in an interconnected way, my apologies. What we're asking, and you still have that opportunity to rescind your decisions, is for Dr. Cassandra McNair to be reinstated to her rightful position and for the DEI program, Wellness and Cares team to be fully functional this coming school year and beyond. Without these initiatives, our children, parents, and teachers are severely unsupported and are left to fall through the cracks, thus perpetuating cycles of inequity, care, and support, leaving our communities in a constant state of disarray. Thank you for your time, and have a great summer.
Our next speaker is Dr. Carolyn Murray.
Superintendent, members of the board, there's something called Project 2025. It's also known as the Presidential Transition Project. It's a collection of conservative policy proposals from the Heritage Foundation to reshape the U.S. federal government in the event of a Republican victory in the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Project 2025 recommends abolishing the Department of Education, whose programs would be either transferred to other agencies or terminated. Part of their strategies is to instill Christian nationalism into government and the public arena. Some members of the Parish Union High School Board have supported this movement. You know who you are, both financially and vocally. I believe the attack on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion by this board may be part of that movement. What has not been considered is the fact that choice is biblical, God-given. It is what makes man man. Therefore, telling lies about history of this country takes away that God-given right because of the decision made on a lie. Does not give a person a choice. It leads to a dictated outcome. Understanding history is crucial to a variety of reasons, as it helps individuals and societies in numerous ways. For instance, learning from the past. That way we can build on our successes and we can try very hard not to make the same mistake twice. Understanding change and continuity. It gives us a cultural identity. It informs citizenship. It informs critical thinking. It's understanding of others' history. It's a foundation of other disciplines. It has moral lessons. I could go on and on about the importance of history, but of true history, not lies, not making up a story, not the resistance to ethnic studies or ethnic studies requirement, which the DEI director would have facilitated, which some of you don't want. Some of you. It would be an inspiration to know our true history. How many of you know who California was named after? Who was California named after? No? Do you know? Do you know? I lived in Michigan. Michigamo. It means Great Lakes. Any state you live in, you should know who the state was named or what the state was named after. But you don't know. But you don't really care to know, do you? Anyways, stop the lies, tell the truth, allow our children their God-given right.
Our next speaker is Janice Roots.
Janice Roots with the Center Against Racism and Trauma, generally called CART. Thank you all very much for having me, giving us this opportunity. I was going to say something last, but I want to say it first. I want to say thank you to Trustee Elizabeth Vallejo for always doing what's right for children, parents, staff. At least everything I've seen her do has always been for them. I do understand you all believe that you've done the same thing. However, when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion, you have not. You eliminated the director of DEI, which means you eliminated DEI. And I believe that was your true intention to begin with. It wasn't a budget issue, no matter how many times you want to frame it that way, and you know it. She had at least another year left, and with her hard work, she brought in another $7+ million starting July 1st. She didn't have to go. You effectively fired her. And the reason I say that is because she wasn't let go because of her performance either. So if it's not money and it's not performance, then you fired her just because you wanted to, and most likely because you wanted to get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So you may think DEI is just for children of color, and that is not true. It's not true at all. But if it was, you would have been voting against over 70% of students in PUHSD. However, DEI is for everyone, white students included, faculty, staff, everyone, including you board members. So you've effectively disadvantaged the entire district on your actions. So my conclusion is, you don't really care about student safety, mental health, and the things that equity brings to people and inclusion brings to people. You don't care about the staff's ability to support students. We know that in the survey, the students don't feel like they can safely speak to teachers about racism when they encounter these incidents. And last trustees, Trustee Nelson, Trustee Campos, Trustee Garcia, and Trustee Stafford on the phone, you have not done the absolute best job you could have for students, and I'm really disappointed.
Our final speaker this evening, Amir Whitaker.
Good evening, Board President Garcia, board members, staff, and superintendent. My name is Amir Whitaker. I'm Senior Policy Counsel with the ACLU of Southern California, the American Civil Liberties Union, and we are here to echo the concerns raised by parents and community organizations that have been raised repeated board meetings, that have been raised through communications, mainly through a letter that was sent to you all from LULAC, NAACP, and CART. And the ACLU is aligned with the concerns of also raised by the California Department of Education when this district was one of a handful of districts, and there are over 1,000 districts, or roughly 1,000 districts in the state. But this district was one of a handful of districts that was selected for this significant disproportionality issue. And you all began to address it in good ways that were highlighted by the County Office of Education and others. And you're automatically already undoing that in less than a year. And some of you have been here, also commending those of you who are retired for your service for decades, but you all know implementing the program in the first year, you won't really see full implementation. It takes time, right? So we're just here to repeat the concerns of community members that you continue to do the work that it takes to make sure your students feel safe, because your own data shows that students don't feel safe here. The California Department of Education data shows that students don't feel safe here. And we also see disparities in different things. This district has one of the highest suspension rates for Latino students. That's why the California Department of Education highlighted it. But when it comes to black students, that are about 10.7% of students, there's about 6.8% of students in the district, Paris Union High School District, but about 10.7% of students suspended. So 6.8% of enrollment, 10.7% of students suspended. That's disproportionality that you can address. And we've heard marvelous things about Dr. McNair, and she sounds like a person that many school districts wish they could have. She's bringing millions of dollars in resources. As was stated by others, there's truly no financial issue with her position, although we understand our state and our districts are feeling the squeeze. And we know now, actually, the news is less so than it was in March when the forecast was even more grim. So you all should really revisit and undo that mistake you all have done for the sake of your students, for the sake of our future. And again, we are in support of the community members here. And this is my first board meeting here, but I can tell it won't be my last. So I really encourage you all to make the right decision. So I'll be here less. Thank you all. Thank you all for the work you do. And thank you for your scholars who just completed another year. Thank you.
That was our final speaker, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Item 12.1, consent calendar. Approval of consent calendar items. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Did you want to speak on something Mr. Nelson said?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me, Mr. Nelson. Mr. Good is up for renewal. He does a lot of our PR work. He communicates with all the different government agencies and helps us with master planning and so many issues. I just want to give my support to him, and he works for us. I believe it's not a set contract. It's just a matter of what project he's put on and how many hours he puts in. But he has done a great job. I've worked with him for many years, and he's been instrumental in community communication, getting the new schools built. I met him back when we opened Heritage High School, and he is a really true man and a former superintendent. So I wish the best to Mr. Good and want to just let everybody know, because I know he's not seen doing what he does all the time, but believe me, he keeps us well informed of what the community needs and how we can fill our needs, because it's very difficult in this up and coming the economy the way it is and things like that. So I just want to support Mr. Good and say I'm very glad to be working with him.
Thank you, Mr. Stafford. Any more discussion on this topic? See none, please vote. Item 12.1 is a 5-0 vote. Item 13.1, written reports, discipline May 2024 monthly suspension report. Action items, 14.1, personnel, certificated personnel action items. Do I have a motion? I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? See none, please vote. Item 14.1 is a 5-0 vote. Item 14.2, personnel, classified personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? See none, please vote. Can you mute your microphone, Mr. Stafford? Can you mute your microphone, please? Thank you. Item 14.2 is a 5-0 vote. Item 14.3, personnel, client services agreement with Shaw HR Consulting Incorporated. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Who wants credit?
Good. I'll second.
Okay. Mr. Stafford seconds. Mr. Nelson makes the original motion. Any discussion? Oh, okay. Are we on the wrong one? Now I have an error application on my screen. Oh, there we go. So we're on 14.3, not 5. There we go.
Yeah, the website jumped. It wasn't.
No problem. Thank you.
Made the motion.
Mr. Nelson made the motion, and the second was by Mr. Stafford. Can we vote now? Please vote. Oh. Anna. Hit the wrong one. You cleared it? All right. On 14.3, please vote again. Mr. Stafford, please vote. Okay. Oh. 14.3 is a 3-2 vote. It passes. Item 14.4, approval of tentative agreement between the Paris Union High School District and the Paris Secondary Teachers Association for the 2024-25 successor agreement. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? See no discussion, please vote. (14.4) is a 5-0 vote. 14.5, employment agreement, interim superintendent. Is there a motion? Oh, actually, wait, no, we pulled that. We pulled 14.5 and 14.6, correct?
Yeah, 14.5 is now.
Yeah. 14.7, curriculum, local control accountability plan and annual update for 2024-25. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
And Mr. Garcia, just letting you know that your paperwork still says 14.7, but because those points were pulled before it, it's now 14.5, so it.
Oh, got you, thank you. So we're now on 14.5, which is local control and accountability plan. Yes, thank you very much for clarity.
No problem.
Any discussion on this item on 14.7? See none, please vote. Fourteen point seven is a 5-0, or excuse me, 14.5 is a 5-0 vote. Fourteen point six, building and grounds award of bid number 052224, Liberty High School modular site work project. Is there a motion?
Second.
All right, any discussion? See none, please vote. Item 14.6 passes 5-0. Item 14.9, building and grounds, public hearing regarding adoption of Resolution 38-2324 of the Board of Trustees of the Paris Union High School District approving a change in Level 1 statutory school facility fees imposed on residential and commercial industrial construction pursuant to the Education Code Section 17620 and Government Code Section 65995. A public hearing on considering of the data presented in Paris Union High School District fee justification study, fee study, and adoption of resolution number 3823-24 is now open at 6:43 p.m. Koppel and Gruber Public Finance prepared a fee study detailing the findings required by Government Code Sections 66001 and 65995 pertaining to the adoption of school fees, which study has been made available to the public for at least 10 days prior to this regularly scheduled meeting. Doug Floyd with Koppel and Gruber will now explain how the fee study was prepared. Thank you, sir.
Hi, good evening, Board President Garcia. Good evening, board members. Good evening, Superintendent Bennett. Again, my name is Doug Floyd. I'm representing the firm Koppel and Gruber Public Finance. I've been here many times before. Just as a reminder to the board of what these fees are fees that districts are allowed to charge on new residential and commercial construction in order to fund school facilities that are necessary in order to accommodate for any students that are generated from those new development projects. The school fees are collected on a one-time basis prior to and as a condition of that development, meaning if I were a builder intending to build homes within the community, I would have to pay these fees to the school district prior to even receiving approval from the building jurisdictions to get a building permit to start building on those projects. The fees are limited or they're capped under statute. However, the fee caps are adjusted every other year and even numbered years by the State Allocation Board to account for cost inflation. So what they do is they look at a construction cost index that they follow, and based on inflationary costs, they are authorized to increase the fee caps to the new amount. And in fact, they did that in January of this past year and increased the fee cap by approximately 8%. It's a little bit lower than 8%. However, for an individual school district to increase their own fees, they must demonstrate the need for these fees through a fee justification study, which my firm helped the district prepare. And the fee justification study, what it does, it looks at potential planned development within the community. We've identified nearly 25,000 homes that could potentially be built within the district over the next 10-year period, and estimate the number of students that could be generated from those residential units. The estimate is about 3,000 new students from those homes. And then the last part of the justification process is really determining how much it would cost to accommodate for those students. And we looked at the 2023 Facilities Master Plan update to derive cost estimates. And as long as those cost impacts are higher than the proposed rates, then the district is fully justified in increasing the fee amounts. What this translates for the district is approximately a 15-cent increase for areas that are share common jurisdiction with the Paris Elementary School area, and then an 11-cent per square foot increase for all other areas. And that's just because the Paris Elementary serves both middle and high. The Paris High School District serves middle and high school students within the Paris Elementary area. And then for commercial, the impacts are a little bit more indirect. The impacts are related to employment growth from those new commercial centers, and then that drives housing, and then therefore that drives further student generation. For those rates, it's a 3% increase for the Paris Elementary area and a 2-cent increase for all other areas. If the board so chooses to adopt the new fees tonight, they would become effective in 60 days, and that's just by statute that you have to wait until those fees become effective. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions from the board.
At this time?
I just want to let the audience know that Mr. Stafford had to step away. He had something happen at his location, so he won't be participating in the rest of the board meeting.
Thank you. Has the district received any written comments on the fee study? And if so, have such comments been forwarded to and considered by all board members present as included in the agenda materials for this meeting?
We've received no comments.
Thank you. Is there anyone present who wishes to provide oral comments on the proposed fee study or resolution number 3823-24? None? See none? Does any board member, the district staff, or Koppel and Gruber, wish to respond to these comments? See none? The next yellow. All right, if there are no more written oral comments, I will now declare the public hearing closed at 6:49 p.m. The next item under agenda number 14.9 is 0.7. Sorry, we've adjusted. No worries, thank you. Let me correct that right here. The next item under agenda item number 14.7 is to consider adoption of resolution number 3823-24, approving a change in level 1 statutory school facility fees. Do I have a motion to adopt the resolution and change the level 1 residential and commercial industrial fees pursuant to resolution number 3823-24?
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there a second? Thank you, Mr. Campos. Any discussion? Ms. Vallejo, was that a yes or no? Okay. All right, please vote. Item 14.7 passes, 3, 1 no, and 1 abstain. Or absent, excuse me. Ooh, I should put my glasses back on. Item 14.8, business adoption of the 24-25 district budget and resolution number 3923-24, resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Paris Union High School District designating certain general funds as a committed fund balance. Do I have a motion? I'll make the motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion? See no discussion, please vote. Item 14.8 passes 4-0 and 1 absent. Item 14.9, business authorization for the purchase of capital equipment above $10,000, June 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? See none, please vote. Item 14.9 is a 4-0 and 1 absent. Item 14.10, authorization for purchase orders above $50,000, June 2024. Do I have a motion? I'll make the motion. Is there a
Second.
second? Mr. Nelson? Any discussion? Please vote. Item 14.10 is a 4-0 vote and 1 absent. Item 15.1, information items. Curriculum, revised VAPA courses, Art 1 and Art 2. 15.2, okay, I'm back on track. New dual enrollment, social science course, human development, Psych 103 DE. 15.3, curriculum, new math course, mathematical reasoning with connections. 15.4, business, revolving cash report, May 2024. 16.1, closed session, if necessary.
Not necessary.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Item 18.1, other items by the superintendent.
I just want to thank, again, the community and the people that have put me in this position. I'm proud of the work we've done, building new schools, improving the schools that we've had all along. And my goal when I started as superintendent is I want to leave it better than when I got it. And I think we've been able to do that as a team. And I'm just going to close out with Mamba out.
That was great.
What's that?
All right. Item 19.1, other items by the Board of Trustees. Mr. Nelson. Trustee Vallejo.
Just want to remind my board members for the video recording, and we do need to talk about DEI. It's been talked about for months, so we should definitely talk about that.
Trustee Stafford is no longer with us. Trustee Campos.
No, just thank you all for coming and for a great year, and hopefully we'll build upon it and make it better next year. Thank you.
Thank you. And myself, I want to thank everybody who came out. I want to thank all the people who stayed. And if people could still hear us outside, we are listening. Nothing goes unheard. We do have discussions. Sometimes there's misinformation from all over. So, you know, I hope that one day we could come together, especially with the groups that have come up here and spoke, that we could collaborate and move forward together with a viable solution. And other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful summer. Thank you. Item 20.1, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? I'll second. Any discussion? No discussion, please vote.
Please don't close out. We have those 2 extra meetings that we have to do.
Yes. All right, item 20.1 adjournment is 4 yeas and 1 absent. God bless you. The meeting is adjourned at 6:55 p.m.